Hey Pectus Warriors, it's Riley Byrne from FixPectus.com, and in today's video what I wanted to talk about is shoulder impingement and pectus excavatum, because typically what I've seen is this is a very common injury for everyone, but especially in the pectus excavatum population, and there's a reason that I hypothesize for this. Now let me clarify, I'm not a physiotherapist, I'm a trained personal trainer with a Cert 3 and 4 in fitness, so I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physiotherapist, I do not have any like rehab qualifications, okay? So if you are experiencing shoulder impingement, I would definitely recommend you go see, your GP or a physiotherapist or someone in that field for proper medical diagnosis and treatment, because there's lots of things that could be causing shoulder pain, not necessarily impingement, but that, to my experience, is the most common, and I personally have experienced this as well. And so one of the reasons for it is, as you guys know, if you're probably familiar with my channel, I always talk about pectus posture and the tight chest muscles associated with the condition, and then modern sedentary habits as well, and the rounding of the shoulders and that rounded forward posture. Now, if you just stand and or even the way you're sitting right now, I'm sure you're probably in a rounded position, because most of us are. And that is because of modern day lifestyle as well as pectus excavatum, okay? And so what we need to do to try and combat this and prevent shoulder impingement in the first place is making sure we have good posture, okay? And so how that starts is, it starts in loosening the chest, as I always talk about in my videos, stretching the chest. It's one of the first things we do in my training for my clients, okay? I get them to train their chest, but it always has to be balanced with stretching the chest and also developing the back, okay? And the good way to tell is, in terms of your posture, is if you just stand with your hands by your side and you look at the way your thumbs are, okay? And if your thumbs are pointing inwards, then it's an indication that you're internally rotated and your shoulders are rounded forward, and that's putting more tension on the shoulder, okay? When you're in this position, it creates impingement a lot more. But if you're standing and your shoulders are pointed forwards, and then you're not internally rotated, you're not habituating like this, but instead you have good posture, and it's going to put you in a much better position. You're going to have better ranges of motion, and you're way less susceptible to shoulder impingement. Now, if you have shoulder impingement, I'd say, as I said, go see a physiotherapist. But some of the exercises that have helped me were stretching the chest, stretching muscles around the shoulder as well. It's not always just the chest, it can be tight lats, tight traps. Anything tight, excessively bound up, is going to cause tension, and the shoulder's a little finicky joint that is very susceptible to pain and niggles, okay? And so what we want to do is make sure all the structures around it are loose. So for me, I'm foam rolling, I'm stretching, I'm using resistance bands to stretch out my lat, I'm stretching out my chest, and by doing that, you're going to loosen the tension on that shoulder joint. From my own experience anyway, it really helped for me. Then on top of that, we're making sure that we're exercising properly, okay? We're doing things with correct form. I always talk about to my clients, making sure our shoulders are rolled back when we're pressing. We're not pressing with that rounded forward posture, okay? Creating more of an internal rotation as we press, and really putting your shoulders in a dangerous position. I have video tutorials associated with all of my exercises, trying to teach my clients how to do them properly. And then for my premium clients, I actually look through their form and personal videos they submit to make sure they're doing everything right without going too heavy from week one, and making sure form comes first. So if you are training, you need to make sure form comes first. You need to make sure you're doing exercises properly, particularly exercises such as like a chest press, where the shoulder is in a vulnerable position, and if done wrong, you can very easily create some kind of impingement there. So making sure you're exercising properly and making sure you're strengthening the back, okay? Strengthening your posterior chain. Everyone with pectus typically goes chest, 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 and they neglect the back and just create further postural problems, creating shoulder impingement, and then they can't train for a while, then they're out, then they start eating bad, and it's just this cycle which doesn't allow progress. You need to make sure you've got the right program with the right volume of chest to back, with stretching to avoid little injuries like this that are going to set you back. Okay, so anyway guys, that's just my video on shoulder impingement, just a quick one, because if there is an injury that I've noticed is most common for people when they start exercising to treat their pectus, it is shoulder impingement, and I personally think that this is due to the forward rounded posture, and so we really need to fix that forward rounded posture. We really need to strengthen our back and loosen the muscles around it, loosen the chest, make sure we're not just in this permanent state of internal rotation, and make sure we're exercising correctly to avoid shoulder impingement. And then if we have it, make sure we're doing the necessary steps to rehab this, so we can get back into the exercise and a full training program without any without any setbacks or without any exercises that we can't do due to an injury, and that way we can develop our best body and overcome our pectus. Thanks guys, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.